Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate you liking and subscribing and commenting. I like the feedback. So thank you for doing that and continue giving me feedback. My goal is to continue making videos until December and then reevaluate the situation. So today I'm going to talk to you about whether or not you need a business coach and what is a business coach and what does that mean and blah, blah, blah. I did hire a business coach, and I did it in the beginning of my journey as being a consultant 15 years ago. So I find that to be true. Like when you first start out doing something, you think you're not doing it right, maybe, or you think other people are obviously out there doing it better, like YouTube. I don't know how many times I've been delivered YouTube videos about people wanting to sell me courses about how to make YouTube videos. It's not that hard. You just press record and then you upload it to YouTube and then you like write some stuff and then you, it's not that hard, but are there nuances to it? Yes, of course. Like for example, now I'm recording in 4K. I didn't even know that my phone had a 4K option. I am using an iPhone 15. I'd rather spend my money on jewelry and other things. That's how I spend my money, but you know, to each his own. But yes, so I am now recording in 4K because it was brought to my attention that you can do that, and I should be doing that. Nonetheless, I think it's always a learning process. Me making YouTube videos is always going to be a learning process. Me running my business is always going to be a learning process. So do you need to hire another person to tell you about your business or about how to have YouTube videos perform better? My experience has been no. But as humans, we want to get from point A to point Z as quickly as possible. And we think that hiring a coach, paying for that course, it's going to get us there. Quicker, faster, stronger, better. We're going to make more money, etc. And sometimes, honest to God, the only way you're going to get to from A to Z is to go A, B, C, D, E, you know? Like you just have to go through the process. You just have to do the work. You really do just have to put in the work. And it takes time and energy, and it takes failures. And a business coach can't teach you that. A business coach can't teach you how to learn from failures. So let me tell you my story. So yes, 15 years ago, I hired a business coach because I thought I needed one, because have I ever ran a business before? No. Did I know what I was doing? Also no. So I thought by hiring a business coach that this woman, I made many mistakes, but one of them was thinking that she knew what she was doing. Most of the coaches out there, I don't care if it's a life coach, a business coach, manifestation coach, we're all just stumbling along. We're all just trying to figure it out. So I hired her and I went in, and at this time, like I said, my biggest client was that I flipped that client from being a full-time employee to now being a consultant for them. And so I was on a monthly retainer, but they were always a pain in the ass. Like they just always were. For the time I worked for them for 10 years and then the 15 years after that as a consultant, they were always a pain in the ass. Didn't change. And so the thing I remember about meeting with this woman was talking about this client. And at the time she told me, you should get rid of them. You should move on. You need to get rid of them. You need to, give your time and effort to other finding new businesses and other clients and things that make you happy. Well, I kept them for 15 years after that. So if I would have listened to her, that would have been 15 years of monthly retainers in the thousands of dollars. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars I would have lost out if I would have listened to this business coach. Thank God I didn't. So the problem is I think that we put too much stock. Even watching this video and listening to me, like you think, wow, she really has it together. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But we put too much stock into other people's, experiences and what they're doing. And a lot of times they don't know shit. They literally have no idea what they're doing either. But a lot of them can play along really well. A lot of them can fake it till you make it, right? And so we think that by giving them our hard-earned money for a course or time on the phone or whatever it may be, like we're going to get just these profound results. And I didn't. And I think I met with her a couple of times, and it sometimes it takes a couple of times, and sometimes it takes you giving, a couple $100 here or there, or whatever it may be. I don't even know how much I spent on her. And sometimes it takes that to figure out that, number one, you probably know as much as this person does. And number two, they aren't telling you anything new that you already didn't know. That's why I named my YouTube channel She Already Knows, because a lot of this you already know. How to run a business, I mean, you already know how to run a business if you apply the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. Treat your clients as you would like to be treated. Do the work for your clients because they are giving you money in exchange. What we struggle with is the nuances of, how do I save for taxes? How do I pay for taxes? How do I send in my taxes? And just the nuances of the business aspect, the accounting aspect, if you will, of running a business. How much should I charge? On and on and on, right? And a lot of that, I actually did a video on that, I'll connect it here. A lot of that, like how much should I charge and whatnot as a consultant, is very nuanced. It's up to you and your industry and your level of expertise and how long have you been doing this, and is what you do very unique, to the world. Then you can maybe charge more, right? So back to the business coach thing, because I truly do get sidetracked on these things. I believe that we're always seeking someone who knows something, and we put them on this pedestal. And I don't care if it's social media or whatever. We have like these parasocial relationships with people, and we listen to their audios and their podcasts and their books and their reels and their short clips and even the stuff I do, right? Like, and we think that they know exactly what they're talking about, but a lot of them truly don't. Like, have a lot of them ran a business for 15 years? Have a lot of them had almost no clients and wasn't sure where the next paycheck was going to come in? Have a lot of them got hit by a tax bill so large you're like, what the hell was this? And figured it out? Like, it's just the ups and downs of running a business. And every day in every way, you're getting better and better when you have your own business. Don't get that wrong, because that's true. Every day in every way, you're getting better and better. And you're making less mistakes, or you're making maybe your mistakes that you're making are as big as the mistakes you made when you first started out running your business. Less magnitude, like the tax bill that came in and you didn't have enough money to cover it. So what do you do, right? So yeah, should you hire a business coach? I would say likely not. One, it's a lot of money. For two, you really kind of already know what you know. I mean, you already know how to run your business. It's just the nuances, like I said. And there's a lot of training out here on YouTube that you can get for free. The biggest thing that helped me, when I got rid of that business coach, I ran into a group that was a solopreneur group here in Minnesota. And this was 15 years ago, this was before COVID, but we would actually meet up on a monthly basis and have like coffee together or lunch together or whatever, and just meet together. And that's where you can talk to others who do the same thing that you do, like not necessarily in the same business as you, but you're solopreneurs, you're trying to run your business, you have clients, hey, I ran into this scenario, or hey, who do you use for your taxes here in Minnesota? Or how do you do this accounting thing? Or, we never really talked about how much we charge, because that was just, we're very nice here in Minnesota and we just don't talk about money like that. But I think all the other things like, sharing resources and how do you do this and what do you ran into this and how do you do that? And that really helped me. And also, being a consultant or a solopreneur, you're by yourself. At that time, this is before COVID, my husband was going in the office 5 days a week. So I went from going from a full-time in the office to staying home. And as an extroverted person, I don't know if you can tell or not, but I am extroverted. And, that was hard for me. That missing out on that social aspect was truly very difficult for me. So having this group of like-minded, and they were all women, maybe a couple guys in there, but most of them was women. I don't think it was like a women's group per se, but But yeah, having this group was like, I don't know, it was a breath of fresh air, and it really was a great resource. So I encourage you to do that first. See if you can find a like-minded group in your area that you can meet, physically with. I think meeting physically is such an important thing. You can definitely, obviously, meet with people on Zoom, but it's just not the same. We know that now, right? It's not the same. So I would do that first before even considering hiring a business coach. I also would never hire a life coach. I kind of put them in the same category. I don't think there's any sort of, I know there's no sort of like accreditation of being a life coach unless it's someone that, I don't know what that life coach chick that has like her podcast or whatever, like she made up her own accreditation. Like, okay, make up your own. All right, that's great. So there's no like universal accreditation for being a life coach, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I don't think there's any universal accreditation for being a business coach, but I will double check that, and if there is, I'll put it in the notes below, because I would definitely do that. I would find someone who's accredited or somehow has some sort of, I don't know, schooling or something behind them. I would love to be a business coach now, but I wouldn't call myself a business coach. I would call myself a mentor. And maybe that's what you're seeking. What you're really seeking is a mentor. And that's different from a business coach. A mentor is someone who, again, you're probably in the same industry, so they kind of know what you're going through. They've kind of been in your shoes a little bit. And you're just looking for someone like, I'm just really stuck on XYZ. Can you help me? And look for their advice, right? And they don't charge you by the hour, and maybe they do meet you for coffee or whatever to exchange this advice. That's what I would seek also. If you don't want to do the group thing, see if you can find a mentor. Maybe it's someone at your old office before you split off and became a consultant. Maybe it's that person who was your old boss back in the day. Maybe they can still mentor you and help you along. Or maybe it's another person who, like me, who's been in the business doing it for a very long time and is happy to talk to other people about it, like what I'm doing now. I would call what I'm doing now coaching because I'm giving advice, but Lord knows I'm not a business coach. I just have done it for a long time. Those who know, those who can't do, teach, right? I don't know. Those who can't teach, Jim. What movie is that from? So yeah, I think maybe ask yourself, are you looking for a mentor? Are you looking for a group to share? Are you looking for, I have a really strong friend group, a couple of them who are also consultants, so we can share back and forth. We can have conversations. We know what the other person is talking about. We can kind of live in the struggle, like, oh yeah, did you do your taxes? Did you fill out your quarterly taxes? Whatever, right? It's good to have that shared pain. And I just think with hiring a business coach, there is no shared pain. There's no shared, like, yes, they're trying to build their business too, but the business they're building and the business you're building are probably two different things. So, and just get out there and network. Like, when I started out 15 years ago, like, networking was a huge deal and a huge thing. It was a lot of fun too. We would go to all sorts of events and everything, and I would meet so many people. I'd have to say, though, the networking probably never really helped me in my business, but it did help me gain self-confidence and talking to people. It got me out of the house, again, which was really important. But yeah, I have to say the networking probably never actually brought business in. All my business really comes from word of mouth. So do good work. Others will tell others about it. Or you have repeat customers, they get different clients or whatever, and voila, there you go. So yeah, hopefully I gave you something to think about. Do you need a business coach? I'm going to say likely not. Before I spend that money on a business coach, I would look for a group in your area that physically meets, like a solopreneur group, a freelance group, a consultant group. I found mine on Facebook, but again, that was 15 years ago. Or look for a mentor, someone who has been there and done that, or is just a very senior level person to your very junior level. Someone who can help me maybe on the business acumen, on the business side of things. Even my person that does my bookkeeping, she does my monthly bookkeeping. Sometimes I call her and talk to her about stuff because she's just very wise in all things bookkeeping and accounting and math, and so. Sometimes on the business side, I'll even call her and, what would you do in this, scenario? So I think a lot of people use business coaches to help them maybe when they're overwhelmed, Maybe they're trying to scale their business, and that's a different type of business coach. If you're looking for someone because you have a widget, or it's you and you want to run an agency, you're trying to scale your business and maybe hire more people and everything, like that's a different type of coach, okay? And that maybe you do need someone to help you scale your business, help you figure out how to do hiring in the state that you live. Like that's different. And I would maybe encourage you for that, because if you're flipping your business from an LLC to an S Corp like I am, again, I took the advice of my tax accountant, who is also kind of like a business coach for me. But again, on the tax side, I'll email him. I'm getting my MBA, and I emailed him like, hey, can I write off the school expense? And he said, no, I could not. So that's a bummer. But yeah, so I think we have business coaches surrounding us, but we just don't necessarily call them business coaches. I mean, even my husband is a business coach. He's a CPA. He works for a Fortune 500 company, but I take his business acumen very seriously as well. He was the one who encouraged me even to get my MBA. So, I consider him to be a business coach in some aspect. I guess it depends on how you label that person. So I kind of went all over the place in this video, but I hope it gave you something to think about on whether or not you want to hire a business coach. Thanks for being here. Peace out.